The low hum of quantum scanners echoed through the cavern as Director Marcus Zhang supervised the excavation. 30 years of searching had led to this moment on the colony world of Nova Terra. The readings were unmistakable. Beneath 2 kilometers of rock lay something that shouldn't exist, a bunker of human origin, dating back 9 millennia. Director, we've breached the outer seal, called out Dr. Vivian Rhodes, her dark eyes bright with excitement behind her protective visor. The excavation team gathered around the massive door, its surface still pristine despite the ages. Ancient symbols gleamed under their lights, Earth's long-forgotten military insignia. Marcus touched the cold metal, his heart racing. Begin authentication sequence. His voice remained steady, masking the tremor of anticipation he felt. Their colony had thrived for generations, believing they were among the last remnants of humanity scattered during the Great Exodus. But this discovery would change everything. The security system activated with a soft pulse of blue light, scanning each person present. A holographic interface materialized, displaying text in perfectly preserved ancient English. Phoenix Archive 42, authorized personnel only. It recognizes our genetic markers, Vivian breathed, her hands flying over her datapad. The preservation systems are still active after all this time. The massive door began to move, releasing a hiss of preserved atmosphere. Marcus led the team inside, their footsteps echoing through corridors that hadn't seen human presence for 9,000 years. The air was clean, filtered through systems far more advanced than anything their colony possessed. They found the command center exactly where the facility's schematics indicated. Rows of dormant terminals lined the walls, surrounding a central holographic platform. Marcus approached the main console, his fingers hovering over the controls. Director called out Lieutenant Kira Patel from security, her hand resting on her pulse rifle. We should proceed with caution, if this facility is what we think it is. Marcus nodded but continued his work. Humanity has hidden long enough, Lieutenant. It's time we learn the truth. The system activated with a surge of power that made the lights flicker. A holographic figure materialized, a military officer wearing an unfamiliar uniform, her bearing rigid and formal. Archive access granted. I am Strategic Intelligence Officer Regina Harrison, Earth Defense Force. If you are viewing this message, you have found one of our emergency repositories. Date stamp, 9,147 years since the fall. Marcus felt his throat tighten. The fall, the event their histories recorded as a natural disaster that destroyed Earth, but the woman's next words shattered that carefully preserved lie. Earth wasn't destroyed by an asteroid, Harrison's hologram continued, her expression hardening. We were betrayed. The Galactic Concordat, an alliance of advanced species, voted to eliminate humanity. They feared our rapid technological advancement, our potential to upset their carefully maintained balance of power. Rather than accept us as equals, they chose genocide. The command center fell silent as screens came to life, showing footage that had been hidden for millennia. Massive alien vessels in orbit around a blue-green Earth, weapons firing, the planet's surface burning as its atmosphere was stripped away. Billions dying in an instant. But they failed, Harrison's voice carried pride now. We had prepared for betrayal. Secret colonies were established beyond their sensors' reach. Advanced technology was hidden in facilities like this one, preserved for the day our descendants would be ready. You are those descendants, and this facility contains everything you need to reclaim what was taken from us. The hologram's eyes seemed to pierce through time itself. The Concordat still exists, still rules the galaxy with the same fear and prejudice that drove them to destroy us. They believe humanity is extinct, a cautionary tale in their histories. Let them keep believing that until you are ready to show them how wrong they were. Marcus turned to his team, seeing the same mix of shock, anger, and determination on their faces. Director, Vivian said quietly, there's more. The facility's database contains weapons technology, ship designs, strategic plans, and something called the Phoenix Protocol. Lieutenant Patel was already studying tactical displays. These defense systems, they're centuries beyond what we have now, beyond anything the Concordat currently possesses according to these records. Because they deliberately stagnated, Marcus realized, reading through the data. The Concordat feared advancement, feared change, while they spent 9,000 years maintaining their status quo. We evolved, Vivian finished. On 100 hidden worlds like Nova Terra, humanity continued to develop, to innovate. We're not the same species they tried to destroy. Marcus accessed another file, and a new hologram appeared, a detailed map of Concordat space, showing military installations, trade routes, and potential weaknesses. Send word to the other colonies, he ordered. All of them. It's time for humanity to unite. Sir, Kira questioned, are you suggesting we actually consider this, taking on an entire galactic civilization? No, Lieutenant, Marcus replied, his voice carrying the weight of 9,000 years of hidden truth. I'm suggesting we take back what's ours. They burned our world, killed our ancestors, and forced us into hiding. Now we have the means to show them exactly what humanity has become. The facility hummed with power as more systems activated, revealing arsenals of advanced weapons, ships designed to outmaneuver anything in known space, and technologies the Concordat had banned millennia ago. But more importantly, it contained proof that humanity's near extinction hadn't been a natural disaster but a deliberate act of genocide. Begin full activation sequence, Marcus commanded. Upload all tactical data to secure networks and prepare a message for the Colonial Council. Humanity has hidden in the shadows long enough. It's time for the galaxy to remember why they feared us. As the team worked, Marcus studied the tactical displays, his mind already formulating plans. The Concordat had spent 9 millennia believing they had eliminated a threat. They had no idea that their actions had instead created something far more dangerous, a humanity that had evolved in isolation, driven by the unconscious memory of their ancestors' murder. How long until the defense systems are fully online? He asked Vivian. Hours for this facility, days for full coordination with the other colonies once they receive our signal. She paused, looking up from her work. They're going to resist, the council. Some will say we should stay hidden, stay safe. Marcus smiled grimly. Safety is what kept us in the shadows. Our ancestors left us everything we need to reclaim our place among the stars. The only question is, are we worthy of their trust? Will we finish what they started? The answer resonated through the ancient facility as systems awakened, carrying humanity's response to a 9,000-year-old act of genocide. The galaxy had burned Earth once. Soon, they would learn that fire burns both ways. The Concordat outpost hung like a jewel against the velvet black of space, its crystalline spires catching starlight. Inside the Nova Terra Command Center, Marcus Zhang watched the live feed with cold satisfaction. 3 months had passed since the discovery of the Phoenix Archive, and humanity was ready to announce its return. Fleet status, he commanded, his voice carrying across the bustling command center. Captain Ryoko Tanaka's hologram materialized, her new uniform bearing the restored Earth Defense Force insignia. All vessels in position, Director. The reclamation fleet is ready. Stealth systems are holding, the Concordat has no idea we're here. The fleet was a testament to how quickly humanity could adapt. 7 ships, built using designs from the archive, each more advanced than anything the Concordat had fielded in 9 millennia. Their very existence violated dozens of Concordat technological restrictions. Dr. Rhodes' status of the Phoenix Protocol. Vivian's voice came through clear, though she was dozens of light years away, coordinating with other colonies. Phase 1 is ready. We can disable their systems without causing casualties, just as our ancestors planned. Lieutenant Patel, now promoted to security chief, brought up a tactical display. Our operative is in position. Ambassador Thex has no idea his new diplomatic aide is one of ours. Marcus nodded. Their agent, James Chen, had spent years preparing for this role, undergoing genetic modification to pass as a member of the Volari species. Now he would be their voice, delivering humanity's message from inside the very heart of Concordat power. Begin Phase 1, Marcus ordered. Across the outpost, every system suddenly went dark. Communications, weapons, life support, all disabled by technology the Concordat had banned millennia ago. In the ensuing chaos, a single message began broadcasting on all frequencies, in all languages. To the Galactic Concordat, 9,000 years ago you committed genocide against humanity. You burned our world and believed us extinct. Today, that belief ends. In the outpost's main chamber, James Chen shed his Volari disguise, his features shifting back to human as he addressed the stunned Ambassador Thex. Your ancestors feared our potential. They should have feared our memory. The ambassador, a tall, crystalline being, backed away in horror. Impossible, humans are extinct, the great cleansing. Failed, James interrupted. And now we've returned with a simple demand, acknowledgement, reparation, and the immediate return of the Earth system to human control. Back in the command center, Marcus watched multiple feeds as the message spread across Concordat space. Second wave, he ordered. Across 100 sectors, hidden human agents revealed themselves. Ships appeared from stealth, demonstrating power that the Concordat had thought safely buried in history. But humanity hadn't spent 9 millennia hiding, they had spent it preparing. Director Vivian's voice carried urgency. We're detecting massive energy signatures. The Concordat is mobilizing their defense fleets. As expected, Marcus replied. Captain Tanaka, proceed with Phase 2. The reclamation fleet moved with impossible speed, their drives breaking physics in ways the Concordat had forbidden. But the real shock came when they opened fire, not with conventional weapons, but with devices that simply turned the Concordat's technology off. This is a demonstration, James continued in the outpost, his voice being broadcast across the galaxy. A small sample of what humanity has become while you celebrated our extinction. We could destroy you as you tried to destroy us. Instead, we offer a choice. On Nova Terra, Marcus activated a secure quantum channel to the Colonial Council. High Chancellor Diana Frost's hologram appeared, her expression grim. The Concordat's response. Their military is in chaos, Marcus reported. Their technology, unchanged for millennia, has no defense against what we've become, but we've detected unusual energy readings from their capital world. The archives warned us about this, Diana said. The Concordat maintains forbidden weapons of their own planet killers they kept in reserve while enforcing technological restrictions on others. They're desperate enough to use them now. Then we proceed with Phase 3. Diana's eyes hardened. Our ancestors left us a message, Director Zhang. From the ashes we rise, with fire we return. Activate the full Phoenix Protocol, show them what humanity has become. Throughout Concordat space, ancient systems began to awaken. Hidden facilities, quantum arrays, and weapons platforms that had waited 9 millennia stirred to life. Humanity hadn't just survived, they had seeded their revenge across the galaxy, waiting for the day of reckoning. In the outpost, Ambassador Thex watched in horror as reports flooded in. What have you done? We learned from history, James replied calmly. Your people thought they could contain humanity by restricting technology, by enforcing stagnation. But all you did was ensure that when we returned, you wouldn't be ready for what we had become. The Concordat's response fleet arrived in system, massive ships bristling with weapons. But against humanity's returned fleet, they seemed antiquated, relics of an age that had passed them by. Final warning, Marcus broadcast. The Phoenix Protocol is now active across all sectors. Your weapons are useless, your defenses will fail, but we're not here for revenge, we're here for justice. Captain Tanaka's fleet moved into attack formation, their ships dancing through space in ways that defied conventional physics. The Concordat must answer for its crimes, she declared. 9,000 years of hiding who we are, what we can become, that ends today. As chaos spread through Concordat space, Marcus received another transmission, this one from deep within their territory. More hidden agents, awakening more forgotten technology. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their advanced technology or their recovered weapons. It was their patience. Begin final approach, Marcus ordered. Set course for Earth, it's time to go home. The Centauri gateway blazed against the void, a massive construction of crystalline alloys and quantum fields that had served as the Concordat's primary trade route for millennia. Now it had become their weakness. Director Marcus Zhang stood on the bridge of the EDF Prometheus, watching as centuries of careful planning came to fruition. Quantum signatures detected, reported Dr. Vivian Rhodes, her voice tight with anticipation. The gateway's defensive grid is activating exactly as the archives predicted. They never changed the protocols, not in 9,000 years. The Concordat's response fleet surrounded the gateway, 10,000 ships arranged in formations unchanged since the age of Earth's destruction. Their weapons were primed, their commanders confident in their superior numbers. They had no idea they were already defeated. Execute Protocol Sunfire, Marcus commanded. Captain Tanaka's fleet emerged from quantum space at precisely calculated points, their ships moving with impossible grace. But they weren't alone. Throughout the gateway sector, ancient defense platforms awakened from their millennial slumber, their existence unknown even to the Concordat's highest authorities. How? The Concordat fleet commander's transmission crackled with disbelief. These defenses were decommissioned, destroyed. No, Marcus replied calmly. They were reprogrammed. Your ancestors were so focused on destroying Earth that they never noticed what we did to their own technology. The Centauri Gateway has been ours since before the Great Cleansing. We just waited for the right moment to use it. From her position at Nova Terra's Quantum Control Center, High Chancellor Frost coordinated with the other colonies. The Concordat's inner council is in chaos, she reported. Our agents report 7 member species have already called for immediate negotiations. They're starting to fracture. But victory wasn't assured. Deep within Concordat space, their leaders had activated weapons that had been forbidden even during Earth's destruction. Planet killers, reality warpers, devices that could unmake entire star systems. New contact, Lieutenant Chen's warning cut through the command channel. Massive quantum displacement at the gateway's core, they're trying to collapse it. Marcus watched as space itself began to twist around the ancient structure. The Concordat would rather destroy their own most valuable trade route than let humanity gain control. But this, too, had been predicted. Dr. Rhodes, he called, initiate the Phoenix Protocol's third phase. Vivian's hands flew across quantum-encrypted controls. Throughout the sector, human technology began to interface with the gateway systems at levels the Concordat had never imagined possible. Their ancestors hadn't just hidden technology, they had evolved it, letting it grow and develop in secret for 9 millennia. Protocol active, Vivian announced. Quantum field stabilizing, the gateway is ours. The massive structure pulsed with new energy, its crystalline framework resonating with frequencies that made the Concordat fleet's sensors go dark. When they recovered, their horror was complete. The gateway had transformed, its ancient architecture now integrated with human technology that had evolved far beyond their understanding. Director Captain Tanaka reported, "We're detecting similar transformations across Concordat space. All the major trade routes, defense stations, even their capital's orbital platforms, they're all awakening." Marcus nodded grimly. Our ancestors played a very long game, everything the Concordat built after Earth's destruction. We were there, hiding in plain sight, adding our own modifications, waiting. Through quantum channels, reports flooded in from hidden agents across the galaxy. The Concordat's carefully maintained order was crumbling. Species that had been silently resentful of their technological restrictions for millennia were rising up, inspired by humanity's return. "We're receiving a priority transmission," Lieutenant Chen announced, from the Concordat Inner Council themselves. The holographic projection showed a being of pure energy, one of the Concordat's founding species. "This is High Arbiter Zena, what you have done, what you are capable of, it is beyond anything we thought possible." "No," Marcus corrected. "It is exactly what your ancestors feared. Humanity's potential, unchained by your restrictions, developed in secret for 9,000 years. You tried to contain us. To destroy us because you feared what we might become. Now you face what we have become." The Arbiter's form flickered with distress. "The weapons we have awakened, they cannot be stopped. Even now they approach human-controlled space. You must understand these devices were created by species long extinct. We barely understand how to control them." Marcus smiled. "We know. We've spent millennia studying them, understanding them, developing countermeasures. Did you really think we would return without being prepared for everything?" As if in response, new signals began broadcasting across all frequencies. Throughout Concordat space, more human ships emerged from quantum darkness. But these vessels were different. They didn't just bypass Concordat technology, they transformed it, evolved it, forced it to grow beyond the artificial limitations that had been imposed for so long. "You have a choice," Marcus declared, his voice carrying to every corner of the galaxy. "Continue this fight and watch as 9,000 years of technological stagnation becomes your downfall, or accept that humanity has returned, that we are owed our place among the stars, and that the galaxy must change." The gateway pulsed with power, its transformed structure now a testament to what humanity had become, not just survivors but evolutionaries. They had taken the very restrictions meant to contain them and turned them into tools of advancement. "The Phoenix Protocol isn't just a weapon," Marcus continued. "It's a key to unlock everything you've forbidden, every species you've contained, every potential you've feared. The galaxy doesn't need to burn, it needs to grow." In the quantum silence that followed, humanity waited for the Concordat's response. But they already knew the outcome. After all, they had spent 9,000 years preparing for this moment. The day when fear of change would yield to the inevitability of evolution. The Concordat capital world of Illuminara filled the Prometheus's viewscreen, its orbital rings glowing with defensive energy. Beyond the planet's crystalline spires and quantum arrays lay humanity's ultimate target, the Hall of Remembrance, where the truth of Earth's destruction had been hidden for 9 millennia. Director Marcus Zhang felt the weight of history as he studied tactical displays. Status of the Phoenix Protocol's final phase. Quantum matrices are aligned, Dr. Rhodes reported from her station. But Marcus, the calculations suggest implementing the full protocol will do more than just disable their defenses. We're talking about fundamental changes to how technology works in this sector of space. The command deck fell silent. They all knew what was at stake. The Phoenix Protocol wasn't just a weapon, it was a force of technological evolution designed to break the chains of restriction the Concordat had placed on countless species. New transmission from High Chancellor Frost, Lieutenant Chen announced. Priority Alpha. Diana's hologram appeared, her expression grave. Director, we've received a communication from the Concordat's inner sanctum. They're offering terms. After everything they've done, Captain Tanaka's voice carried centuries of inherited anger. They destroyed Earth, drove us into hiding, and now that we've shown our strength, they want to negotiate. It's more complicated than that, Diana replied. Our deep cover agents have discovered something disturbing. The current Concordat leadership. They're not the same species that ordered Earth's destruction. Those races are extinct, replaced by their own creations. Marcus leaned forward, explained. The Concordat's founding species feared change so much that they tried to preserve themselves through artificial means. But in doing so, they became something else. The beings we're fighting aren't our original enemies, they're victims of the same fear that nearly destroyed humanity. The revelation hit the command deck like a physical force. Their revenge had been aimed at descendants who had inherited their ancestors' sins without understanding their origin. Director Vivian's voice was quiet but firm. We've finished analyzing the data from the Hall of Remembrance, the original records. They show that not all species supported Earth's destruction. Some tried to warn us, tried to prevent the genocide. They were silenced, their civilizations reduced to client states. Marcus closed his eyes, feeling the weight of 9,000 years of preparation pressing against the reality of the present. Show me the projected casualties if we proceed with the final phase. Holographic displays filled the air, showing the cascading effects of the Phoenix Protocol's completion. Not just military targets, but entire civilizations would be forced to evolve or collapse. The Concordat's technological stagnation had become the foundation of their society, breaking it would shatter countless worlds. We have another option, Dr. Rhodes said, bringing up new calculations. The protocol was designed to be adaptable, to learn and evolve like humanity did. We could modify it, use it to guide rather than force change. And let them escape justice, Tanaka demanded. Our ancestors didn't hide us away and prepare all this just so we could show mercy. No, Marcus replied, standing to address his crew. They prepared us to be better than those who tried to destroy us. That's why the protocol evolved alongside us, why it was designed to learn and adapt. Our ancestors gave us the tools for revenge, but they also gave us the wisdom to choose differently. New alerts flashed across tactical displays. The Concordat's forbidden weapons were approaching, reality-warping devices that could unmake entire star systems. But they were relics, unchanged for millennia, while humanity's technology had never stopped evolving. Director Chen reported incoming transmission from the Hall of Remembrance. They're surrendering unconditionally. The holographic projection showed High Arbiter Zena, but now they could see what their ancestors couldn't: signs of artificial preservation. The desperate attempts to maintain unchanging perfection that had instead created something entirely new. We remember Earth, Zena's voice carried genuine remorse. Not as our ancestors wished us to remember it, as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked advancement. We remember it as our greatest shame, a monument to fear and the price of fearing change. Marcus looked at his crew, seeing the same conflict in their eyes. They had spent generations preparing for this moment, carrying the weight of humanity's near extinction. But now, faced with the reality of their victory, they had to decide what kind of species they had become. High Chancellor, he called, patch me through to all human colonies and remaining Concordat worlds. Diana nodded, and Marcus felt the attention of a galaxy focus on his next words. 9,000 years ago, humanity was nearly destroyed because we represented change in a galaxy that feared it. We survived, we evolved, and we returned not just with the power to take revenge, but with the wisdom to understand its cost. He activated a new sequence in the Phoenix Protocol, one that had evolved alongside their understanding. We don't want your extinction or your submission. We want what we always wanted, the freedom to grow, to change, to become more than what we are. And we want that freedom not just for ourselves, but for every species the Concordat has restricted. The protocol's energy began to shift, its patterns changing from destruction to transformation. Across Illuminara, ancient systems began to awaken not to attack, but to evolve. The age of stagnation is over, Marcus declared. Earth will be restored not as a monument to revenge but as a symbol of renewal. The Concordat will be transformed, not destroyed, and humanity will take its place among the stars not as conquerors but as catalysts for change. As the protocol's new purpose spread across space, Marcus watched the future unfold. They had prepared for 9,000 years to burn the galaxy. Instead, they would light it up with something far more powerful than fire. A hope.